This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
The topic of success is one that is explored time and again. Success is, after all, what we use to measure our life's work. And while there's no shortage of success stories and how-to guides to give us an understanding of what it means to be successful, few of us actually know what success personally means to us. Good morning, this is Freda Liu, Raise Your Game here. I'm with Angeline and Angeline Yong. And based on the model for success explained by them on their book, 8 Success Qualities of Outstanding People, we're now going to take a closer look at how we can define and achieve success on our own terms. You know, in your book, welcome Daniel and Angeline, in your book, talk about, the first chapter was on the turning point, right, of success. What was the turning point for you guys?
Thank you, Freda, for having us. The turning point for me was quite an expensive lesson for us. We started a cafe business and we lost about 200,000 ringgit, and not all of the 200,000 is from us. We lose people's money and some friends as well. It was quite a experience for us, and it was a turning point for us. And we start to ask, what are the things that are required to be successful? And knowing that you want it is not enough. Having a reason to want it is not enough. But we need to have some sort of things or qualities that we can practice.
Right. Hence,
we have these 8 qualities in the book.
So in that cafe story, the goal was more monetary then. I mean, if you were to look back and you say that there was the turning point, so when starting that cafe, was your goal at the time was, to make money. It's more monetary and not a higher purpose, so to speak.
Yes, I think at that time we were quite young and we were thinking about money. And we have this philosophy of do whatever it takes to make a lot of money and we can enjoy life later. And we didn't realize this fact that, sometimes it's better for us to do something that we are passionate about, that we love doing, and we are good at doing. That's why in this book we also talk about that.
Right.
We also realized from the cafe experience that we were really not working on our skills, on our strengths that we had, and not our talents. So our focus was wrong from the beginning, I suppose. So I think we fell in love with the idea of starting a cafe. So naive and a bit silly, but I think it was a great lesson. We thank God that we learned the lesson, and that has helped.
Better to have learned it than not learn and keep repeating the mistakes.
That's right.
Now, do you need to enjoy your work in order to be successful? I mean, alternatively, can someone be successful by just focusing on finding ways to make lots of money?
Yeah, I think we are one of the examples about the cafe. And I think what we need to do is that we have to find out what are our strengths and our weakness and know where we stand before we do what we do. I think another example, story that I have is that I also know one person recently, and this person wanted to make money. And someone suggested to her that why don't you start a website that you can actually provide people plumbing and all sorts of services.
Right.
And she has no interest in that area, and she's just doing it because someone said that it's a good thing to do to make some money. And I think she struggles. So I think it's very important because we spend most of our time working. In our productive life, if you look at it, the time that we're qualified to work and until we retire, Monday to Friday, most of us work. And if that majority of the time that we spend is something that we don't like, it will be a torture.
It's literally the longest 8 hours or 6 hours of your life on a daily basis.
I think it would be toil rather than joy.
Yeah.
And I think if they don't enjoy what they do, it's not sustainable for long. You might just fall ill. Or you start to imagine that you're not feeling well. And very soon your body starts to feel it. And you're not motivated, and it starts to affect the environment and the negativity at the workplace. So I think it's a critical element.
Now, knowing what you want is important. So is it sufficient to be successful?
that's where my 200,000 ringgit lesson.
Yes.
Is about.
This was 15 years ago.
Yeah, about 15 years ago.
That would have, 200 was a lot of money then.
Yeah, and it's
still a lot now.
Yeah, it's naive. It's being naive
Yeah.
and perhaps being young and just want to go out there and try. But through the years, we have been doing training and consultancy with corporations, and we see a lot of people. We notice that a lot of people want to be successful. It's the how that people got stuck. And it's sometimes to some people it's very overwhelming. It's like climbing Mount Everest. That's the reason why we wrote this book, is because we give them a Mount Kinabalu first.
Okay.
Yeah, because when we wrote this book, we survey and we actually talk to 54 people that we know that we think that they are successful, and they are not Bill Gates quality.
Right.
Because a lot of people, Bill Gates is Mount Everest to them. Right? So these 54 people that we talk to is Mount Kinabalu kind of a situation.
We should try Gussing Hill first, actually. Gussing Hill, then after that slowly progress. Right. Now, you talk about the what and why success. So tell us about the how.
Yeah, I think we have identified 8 competencies as we talk to people, and these are basically self-awareness, influence, relationship, business acumen, focus, foresight, service, creativity, and resourcefulness. I think these are the 8 things that we see ourselves doing that and brought us success, and also the people that we talk to. As well. Yeah.
Right. So we'll go through some of the qualities now. So self-awareness being one of the 8 success qualities. How can you tell us how this can be best applied?
Yeah, I think self-awareness is always the first step. And when we train people, we notice that it is so much needed. And that is always the first buttonhole to get right. And I think we need to identify reality, what we are really good at. We all have unique strengths and talents. So it's about being intentional in that area, in identifying what we're really good at. And then I think it's wonderful if you know what you're good at, what you've been designed for, and then to pursue that and to purposely use those skills and strengths to really put your heart and soul into whatever you do. At the same time, what we notice as we work with different managers in corporate is that sometimes people tend to, depending on your outlook and your personality, some people tend to focus on their weakness. They have this thinking that, I've got these 3 weaknesses, and if I were to just focus on overcoming all of them, great, I'll be perfect, But the downside to that is that you find yourself focusing on your weakness, really laboring and putting all your strength and effort. Yes, and you get really frustrated, and you are not getting, you're not making progress.
Right.
So we really need to work from our area of strength while recognizing 1 or 2 key weaknesses that we have, which may really derail us, and put it in balance, 80-20 kind of rule. 80% of our focus should be on doing what we're good at, while at the same time being mindful of that 20% so that it does not become a threat and an obstacle to our effectiveness at the workplace.
Right. Okay. So that's, I think for me also, like self-awareness, you feel like, I've got this vision of where my life I want to be, but at the same time it's a bit blurry. But I think it's self-aware that, okay, these are my strengths. Let me try to work on something that is around my strengths, and then let's see where it evolves as well.
That's right.
What is it that Steve Jobs said? You go later on in life, you connect dots.
Yes,
so that's why I made this decision.
I love what he said. Is that the only way to do good work is to love what you do. And I think it's so true. And for yourself as well, right, Freda? You're good in PR and communication, and look at what how that has taken you.
Right. It's been a journey as well. It's been a journey. So anyway, we'll talk about, we'll continue with this book, The 8 Success Qualities of Outstanding People. We'll talk about the other points there. I'm here with Daniel Lee and Angeline Yong. This is Race Game, BFM 89.9.
Bodacious, fabulous minds. BFM 89.9.
Good morning. It's Raise a Game. I'm speaking to Daniel Lee and Angeline Yong about their book, The 8 Success Qualities of Outstanding People. We're going through the qualities, not all of them, but earlier on we touched on self-awareness. Now, another quality that you've included in the book is building relationships. And why is this important and how can we do this?
I think one of the qualities is building relationship. Relationship is very important because the underlying factor of building relationship is trust. When people trust you, people have confidence with you, that's where things gets done, and that's how people get successful. I think trust is one of those things that are sometimes a little bit elusive to people, so that's why I spell it out. So some of the things that are very easy things to do, that sometimes some easy things is easy to do, but it's also easy not to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So like things like listening to people, taking interest in people. And the other one that I find that not many people can do it very well is being positive around other people. Yeah, so these are some of those things. And to the more weighty things like showing integrity and giving people a benefit of a doubt.
Okay.
In order to build better relationship. But some people say that, how can I just simply give people a benefit of a doubt because things are on the line? And I have this experience with one particular associate that I work with, that sometimes we get our clients who trust us and say that, why don't you do this for us? And say that is not my core, I don't do this very well, let me introduce you to my associate and we can do it. And this person come highly recommended, so I brought him to see my client. And he was late for an hour for the meeting and he didn't apologize.
Aye.
And he sold the program to the client. The client loved it. The client said, let's fix a date. And he said, yeah, I will be okay to do this on this date.
The first sign should have been an hour late. Okay, anyway.
And the 2 weeks before
the
the program starts, he gave me a call and said that I have a better assignment to go to. Sorry, I cannot do this for you. That would put me off, and I would say that I would not trust people easily and don't give people a benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
But I don't. I still give people a benefit of a doubt.
Right.
And I mean, to be honest, that is one of the rare cases. And most of the people that I work with do come true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the thing is, well, you probably, so long as your reputation is still okay and you probably won't, be referring that person to anybody else in the future, right? I mean, that's the thing. And when you made a commitment, doesn't matter how much you paid, I feel. But if you made the commitment that day to somebody, you made a commitment in the day, and not everybody. It's a lot easier if you don't put a price tag to things and just what are your values. But I guess that comes from a different set of values from you, I guess. And then another thing is, you talk about 8 outstanding qualities of outstanding people. One of the things is about business acumen. Why is business acumen necessary for success if you don't intend to go into business?
Yeah, I think this is one of those things that when we do, we train a lot of managers working for corporations, and one of the things that we have to train them on is business acumen. And before we start training on this topic, we will always talk about how the corporate scene have changed. Business acumen is actually one of those important things that they expect, not just from the CEO, but from even a manager. And those are the things that if they focus that right, then they can align themselves to the corporate objectives of the company, and it gets them to be promoted. And a lot of times, most company works in silos.
Yeah.
And if someone were to be refreshingly enough to come up and tell their bosses and their senior management that hey, I'm actually thinking about business, and that's why I'm working with the other department and so on to drive the business, I think. Yeah, so that is one of those things that is important. And if people who are reading the book who don't have any intention to do business, they should understand this even more. Yeah.
Okay. And what about another quality is service. Why service? And why is that a quality?
Yeah, I think service is very key. I think we need to look at what we do as adding value to others. Really, being a blessing, doing good, that we truly look at ourselves as stewards, as, we're here to serve our clients and truly add value, help them to resolve the issues that they have with people, with relationships at the workplace, so that they can have a better work environment and work experience and more enriching relationships at the workplace. And I think at the heart of everything is about serving others.
I think it's a little bit, it's quite counterintuitive, but it comes from a very old and very powerful concept from the Bible. Service is actually, in an essence, love your neighbors. And I think for a person to be successful, I think one of those things that in order for them to be successful is about serving others and take the focus off ourselves, right? And try to delight someone, do something that people don't expect.
Right.
Yep.
And that will create an impression.
And you find that you'll forget your own worries when you're helping other people.
That's right. Because your focus was on delighting others, going the extra mile, making things and life better for the other person. Of course, it is not easy, but it can become a habit and it can become part of the culture.
Whenever I hear this saying, love your neighbor, I always think of, it's very good and noble to help people, but then I think of my immediate neighbors in my house. The ones on the left are lovely people. That's all I'm saying. And it's like, wow, you talk about love your neighbors. Okay, literally, the neighbors,
Unfortunately, we can't pick and choose.
You get a bungalow, then you don't. No, but unfortunately, I have to work towards getting a bungalow. Now, the last chapter, you say success in your terms, in your own terms. Why is that important?
I think the last chapter, the earlier chapters are more focusing on ourselves, what we can do. And I think the last chapter, I want to focus outward to what we can do with our skills that we have been harnessing for years. And success at our own terms, meaning that we have to, I think most people feel like that when they're successful, they want to be significant. And when they want to be significant, but some are quite misguided, They are saying that sell all your belongings and give it to the poor and, live like a hermit and so on and things like that. So this is not that. This is where years, God have given us a talent for us to harness so many things for years, and we are going to use this and give it back to the society that we live in. I think that is very important. And some people say that I have to wait for that day to happen. Actually, we don't have to wait until the day that we are successful to happen, to be happening. We can integrate it with what we have already been doing and making sure that if you are a teacher, make sure that you are passing on good values.
Right.
And if you are a civil servant, you don't take bribes, and so on. And if you
Whatever
are a
the
trainer,
amount.
if you are a trainer like me, and if you are a trainer like me, all right, it's supposed to pass on good values instead of manipulation.
Right.
Yeah, so things like that. So that is integration. And then if we are more successful, we can actually give away our service for free.
Yeah.
If money is not an issue anymore. And I've seen many people give their service away for free. And these are years of expertise that they have. Yeah, I think
Years
that
of
is
life.
very noble.
Yeah.
Very noble.
Yes.
All right. Angeline, anything to before we round up?
I just want to encourage the viewers out there, the listeners out there, that if you have a goal in your mind, you know what you want to achieve in life, and I believe you will be successful if you have a plan and you just work towards it. And we hope that you will pick up a copy of the book, and we hope that it will truly help you in one way or another.
Okay, so available in major bookstores.
Yes.
Largely in Popular.
Yes.
Okay, but major bookstores as well.
Yes.
Daniel Lee and Angeline Yong talking about their book, 8 Success Qualities of Outstanding People. This is Race Your Game, BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes.